Here from the HannibalTV.com, coming at you with a daily wrestling news update. I did do a review of the Sami Zayn Royal Rumble face turn, by the way, that some people were in disbelief that I didn't find it believable. So, anyways, the link is in the description. And before I jump into the news, thank you, everyone, from the viewers to the talents to the collaborators I worked with, to everyone behind the scenes. I really appreciate your help reaching the 350,000 subscriber milestone. And that doesn't even count everyone that watches at facebook.com/the Hannibal TV, which my news updates actually do better on Facebook because they're ad free, as do a lot of the ad free streams. I did post a bunch of videos first, by the way, for channel members today as a thank you for those that are channel members. I really appreciate any support I can get because this is a lot of work. But I'm working on some interviews. I might actually get the much requested Typhoon one in February. But let's jump into the news. For the Royal Rumble news, the event did almost $8 million in the gate. I wonder if that had anything to do with people that thought The Rock might be appearing. But in reality, WWE does a great job of promoting its major events and getting people from all over the world to travel to those events. But I do have to say, for the WrestleMania Goes Hollywood, as they're calling it, they announced tonight on Raw that it is going to be Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. And we've been hearing for 2 or 3 years it's going to be The Rock against Roman Reigns or some version of that tag team version. I mean, the excuse is he's not in shape, even though he's jacked. And for those that don't see him do cardio, he does cardio every day. He posts videos of it. And is wrestling shape, if it would have been in a tag team match, do you have to be in that great shape? I think it has more to do with the possibility that maybe Saudi Arabia might be buying the company and he might not want the heat of working for a company owned by Saudi Arabia. Who knows? Or the money wasn't enough. But I really don't think with all this talk and all the time, if he really wanted to do it, he could have scheduled in the training that he would need to get prepared. It's more to it than I'm not in shape. It's not like this was thrown on him with a week's notice. But anyways, to me, it's disappointing because I don't give a damn about Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes. The only thing good about the Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes is something that's been missing in WWE for a long time. Maybe Cody Rhodes will win. Because as we knew in Royal Rumble, there was no doubt in anyone's mind Roman Reigns was going to beat Kevin Owens. He's going to beat Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber. Because it's the winner of the Royal Rumble that gets the title match at WrestleMania. And Sami Zayn, I'm sorry, he's just not going to beat Roman Reigns. It is in Montreal, so they might find a way to have him win in a way that where he doesn't get the title or something, but there will not be a title change in Montreal. Especially with Vince McMahon back with his finger and stuff, because as I said, there was a picture of Ariel Helwani, the nerdy MMA reporter that also interviews wrestlers here and there, with Sami Zayn. And the nerdy reporter had bigger arms than Sami Zayn. And I can't see Vince McMahon approving a guy like Sami Zayn to be champion at this point in time, especially to dethrone Roman Reigns, who they've been pushing the hell out of for so long, and they clearly want to try to get Cody Rhodes over. even though he didn't get the biggest reaction at the Royal Rumble of the people in the Royal Rumble. Also, came out of Raw, Rhea Ripley is going to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. Why this was announced on Raw, I don't know. Nikki Bella says, I do, did a 0.08 rating, which is 8 times as good as Impact usually does if Impact makes a rating. By the way, there's a video of Alan Funk, who was known as Kiwi in WCW, confronting Buff Bagwell at an autograph appearance that Funk gave me permission to post. For some reason, it's jumped like 100,000 hits randomly in the past week. And everyone's like, why is Alan Funk picking on Buff Bagwell? He's a much older man. Alan Funk is only 2 years younger than Buff Bagwell, maybe only a year and a half. There's only 2 digits different in their age. Bagwell has just lived like a party and lifestyle, drinking and pills. He's admitted to it, and God knows what else. There's documented there's documented stuff of him out there, of arrests he's had and so forth. And I wish him well in his recovery and stuff. But Alan Funk wasn't picking on him. Bagwell had said he was going to beat the crap out of him next time he saw him, and Alan Funk just called him on it. So yeah, I wouldn't feel too sorry for poor Bagwell, who I'm a pretty good guess of when people are under the influence, and I would say he appears to be under the influence on something in that video. Definitely people that randomly stick their fingers up their nose when they know they're being filmed. That's a sign of something that I won't say, but most people could use their head and wonder. And very, very shaky hands. He could have just been afraid of Alan Funk, but you can see Bagwell's hands with the cell phone. I don't know. There's certain types of things that will cause shakiness and people to touch their nose a lot. James. Seth and Cody at WrestleMania, like they did last year. WrestleMania doesn't seem to be as exciting this year. Well, last year it was Cody Rhodes' debut. Yeah, it really doesn't seem to be exciting, to be honest. Hopefully they could still pull off Austin back, but I mean, I guess they're gonna have John Cena maybe against Austin Theory, rather than Logan Paul, who was pushing for that. I guess John Cena is the only, which I think he still will return at WrestleMania, but he'll be like the big one to see at WrestleMania. But he's not on the level of Austin or The Rock. And I have no doubt in my mind John Cena would put Austin Theory over. So it's another thing where I know John Cena would do that. Even Batista, it would have been nice to see them try to get Batista back, but apparently Triple H and Batista have some heat or something, because I guess after the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Batista actually wanted to come back at SummerSlam, and Triple H apparently said, well, we don't even know if that movie is going to be a success, so we don't know if we want to do that. That's what I've read according to reports. So again, another sign of Triple H's great booking, where the only real ratings difference we've seen was the Legend show, which always gets a good rating because you have Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker back and all that. But what about, I think it would help Theory to have Cena beat him, or to beat Cena. I think it would help Theory 100%. And Cena, first of all, it would be WWE would want that too, because Cena's not a full-timer. And I think from what I know about Cena, he doesn't seem to mind putting people over in the right circumstances, and he seems to like Austin Theory. I mean, I've seen pictures of them together. So again, there's not a suspension of disbelief there. Remember Warrior Hogan? You really didn't know who was going to win. That was a huge shock that Warrior won. Even Rock Hogan You didn't know who was going to win because Hulk Hogan has the reputation of not wanting to put people over. So who knows? Anyways, guys, I'm going to get going here. I did post a match I enjoyed with Tessa Blanchard and Miranda Alizé. And there's numerous other women's matches I'm going to post. And by the way, there's including a podcast with Vince Russo, a couple of them, but one of these podcasts, Vince Russo, who does have a good mind for stuff at a good point for all these people, all these wrestlers that are saying, "Oh, I'm afraid that Vince is coming back. I might lose my job." Well, are these the same wrestlers that like celebrated openly that they were happy of the new regime? Because yeah, Vince might remember that somebody might rat you out and you might eventually lose your job. But yeah, I don't see a big difference between the two regime, other than I actually would prefer Vince back in charge. I think he has a better mind for the business than Triple H. I would like to see Vince McMahon back in charge, but it's not going to make me watch. They'd have to have a major creative shakeup to make me watch again. I don't see that happening unless maybe someone else buys it. And honestly, if someone else buys it and they don't like Vince McMahon's opinion, if he's still involved in creative, they could probably just release him. So I actually hope it gets sold. And I hope it gets sold to someone that will really shake it up and make it better. But I also want it to be sold because it'll be more news and more interesting stuff to report on. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews.